Hello and welcome back. This is video 12. As always, I'm going to start with reviewing what I did in the last video. So firstly, I changed in the graph set. I modified this getName function to, we call this name from args, which generates a name for each graph set that's based on the options passed into it, and then it just appends it to the name of the class. And by default, this just returns none. It's up to the subclasses of this graph set class to actually implement the work. And so down here in system load, we added this position argument, which is used down here when we do the poll. We get the load average, and then we return the position that we passed in to through the constructor. And so then this name from args, it just returns p and then the number that corresponds to the position. So which allows us to have, we can say position 1 and then position 2, or position 0 and then position 1. So we can have two instances of the list or the system load installed with different positions. And so this one will have a different name from this one. And so that's what that did. And also I added this getGraphData method that basically queries the poll result table and gives you ticks and results based on a machine and a graph set name. And so it just constructs a query and then returns it as a list or as a dictionary. And we have we have an X and a Y. The X is going to be the dates and the Y is the result. And also I modified this show graphs template to just, instead of just the graph set name, we actually make a URL, which we can click on and it'll take you to the results of this getGraphData, which is a API endpoint that just returns this right here. Also, in the list machines, no, actually not that. In the getGraphData, we, instead of an HTTP response, we do a JSON response so that it actually returns it as JSON. And also I misspelled this, so I just changed the spelling. So that was what I did yesterday. And for today, I'm going to get the project running under Python3. So up until this point, it's always been running on Python2. And the reason for that is because I intend on using this project for other project. It's a Django app, and I'm going to install it on some projects that I built in the past that are still running Python2. So Python2 support is essential. And there isn't much of a difference between Python2 and Python3. There are obviously improvements, but the language itself is really hasn't changed that much. So I intend on having this working on both Python2 and Python3. But today I'm going to get it actually set up running on Python3. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a virtual environment for Python3. So the command for that is Python3, and with Python2, to do a virtual environment, you have to install a separate library to do it, but in Python3, it's built into the language. It's called venv, V-E-N-V, and so the command is Python3 and then .m, which means module. You want to load the venv module, and then you pass in a path. So I'm just going to use .virtual environments. This is the folder where I do all my virtual environments. And I'm going to call it 22video 3. And then that makes the virtual environment. And then now I'm going to activate it. So we go source. And it's been activated. And now it's activated. And so now when I go Python, it loads up Python3. Before, if I didn't activate it and I typed in Python, it would go to Python2. So now I need to install Django, and also I need to install the Tutu module. And so in order to do that, I'm first going to make a change. I'm going to go to the setup file, and down here it says install requires. I'm just going to add Django to this. So now when I install this module, it'll install Django. So to do that, I'm going to move to the folder. Actually, I think I can, yeah. Here it is. So I'm just going to develop. Now it's pulling Django, and it will download that. It might take a while. It's pulling Django version 3, which is the latest version that's compatible with Python 3. And then it installed the Django Tutu. And so now I want to create the Django project. So before we had this Django project, which is just called Tutu Video 2. And now I'm going to create a Tutu Video 3, which is going to be just a Django project that's specific for Python 3. Because when you run the start project command, it generates like just like the base files for a Django project, but it's different for Python 2 as Python 3. So we want to make a different project for Python 3. So the command for that is, this is Django admin command. And this is using version 3, which is what we want. And the command is called start project. And then we're just going to call it Tutu Video 3. Actually, I got to remove. I made this before when I was testing, so I got to remove it now. There it is. So here's the project. The first thing I'm going to do is install Tutu to it. And then also I have to put in the this stuff. Now run the migrate, which creates the databases. Okay, so here's a Python 3 problem. So on this line, it says from utils import validate graph set. This was valid in Python 2, but it's not valid in Python 3 because utils, we need to go .utils instead of just utils, because here it's trying to pull a global package called utils and it's not finding it. So that's happening on models line 9. So it's right here. So we just want to say tutu.models, or I can just say just .utils. But I like it just to say be explicit. So now we'll try it again, and it's doing it again. It's the same problem. Now it's utils line 1. So we'll open up that one again. Try it again. And here it's saying that we're missing an on delete. So this is a new feature they added to the more modern version of Django. Before this was optional. They had like a default value, but in the later versions, I guess they just made it required. So on line 73 in models, we'll go there. line 73 right here. So we want to add on delete. And this is just models dot cascade. What this is doing is telling Django that when you delete the tick, so this instance is associated with a tick instance. So when the tick instance gets deleted, cascade just means that you also delete all the poll results instances. That's what that's telling. It used to be by default. That was the behavior by default in the older versions, but now it's just like you have to do it explicitly. So we'll try it again, and now it works. And the next thing I'm going to do is run the server. And we're going to run this on localhost port 8003. So 8003 just because it's Python3. And then we'll go to, see this one's happening on 8000. And so we want 8003. And this is the page. It tells you when it's set up properly. This is also different from Python, or from the older version of Django. It gave like a slightly different page. So we'll go to the admin, and it's going to want me to sign up. So I have to make a super user account. And actually I built we have a, in the old project, the Python2 project, we have a fixture which we can copy in. So I'll just do load data to video 3, its initial. I must have renamed this. It's not called load data anymore. Oh, I know why. I forgot manage. There we go. So now I can log in. Oh, gotta start the server. And there it is. And it's empty at the moment, so we want to add some ticks. I'm just going to make a new tab. So I'd like to have the first two tabs to be the servers. This is Python2. I'm actually going to just have this be 8002. Oops. So Python2 will be 8002, Python3 is 8003. And we're going to just keep these running in the first two tabs and make sure to check both of them whenever we make a change to make sure it's working on both Python2 and Python3. And here I'm just going to make a tick. Try verbose. There it is. Looks like it's working. Make a couple of these. I'll refresh this, and it's showing up. But as we can see on this side, it's instead of showing a red 1, it's kind of showing this HTML here, which is not what it's supposed to be. So we have to fix that. Also, when I click on one of these, yeah, down here, it's also not showing the HTML. So that we also have to fix. And so to fix that, we'll go to the admin file. And so down here we say .allow tags equals true. Well, apparently this was removed. from Django, and this doesn't work anymore, so we'll just remove that. And the way to do this is there's something that you import, and then you wrap it around this to tell it that it's something I think it's format HTML. It's done like that. And we'll just do this here. I don't know I don't know what the import is, so I have to look that up. Yeah, right here. There it is. Now it's showing it properly. And it's showing it properly here too. And I think that's going to be it for this video, unless there's anything else that I can't think of. Yeah, I think that's it for now. In the next video, I'm going to actually get it so that it's showing the actual graphs. This is what it's going to look like. This is the Plotly. I was testing it the other day, and I got it working. So this is generated in, this is our test data that we made. It's just a bunch of random values. But, you can zoom in, and it's really nice. And then on the bottom here, it has the dates when it was of each tick. And yeah, so we're going to commit our code. And that's it for this video. I'll see you next video.